governor in the country to expand Medicaid access during that period of time, and that is certainly something we continue to note around here. Another update on the schedule is in the wake, a couple of updates, I should say, part on the schedule and part on steps we're taking as it relates to the horrific events in Atlanta earlier this week. In the wake of the horrific shootings in Atlanta on Tuesday, the president ordered the U.S. flag to be flown at half staff as a mark of respect for the victims of these senseless acts of violence. The president and the vice president will also meet with representatives from the Georgia Asian American and Pacific Islander community when they travel to Georgia on Friday. They will meet with the state legislators and community advocates to hear about the impact of the incident on the community and to get their perspective on the rise in anti-Asian hate incidents. The president will also offer his support for the AAPI community in Georgia and across the country and talk about his commitment to combating xenophobia, intolerance, and hate. As many of you may know, and I think I've been asked about this in here previously, but Senator Mazie Hirono and Congresswoman Grace Meng have introduced legislation that calls for expanded DOJ review of COVID-19 related hate crimes, for guidance from DOJ to law enforcement for best practices in reporting hate crimes, and ensures that hate crimes information and reporting is more accessible to Asian American communities. The president applauds their leadership on this issue, including along with Chair Judy Chu's, and he strongly supports these crucial aims of this legislation. He issued a presidential memorandum his first week in office directing the Attorney General to support state and local agencies and AAPI communities to prevent hate crimes and expand data collection and public reporting. That is ongoing. The outreach and engagement from DOJ is already underway. There's also a role for HHS to play, which we expect can pick up more once future Secretary Becerra is sworn in. And as I noted yesterday, also from here he's asked Cedric Richmond, who of course we've all heard of, and former congressman, and Susan Rice to lead an effort to engage with the community as well. Last piece, today the House will also be voting on the American Dream and Promise Act and the Farm Workforce Modernization Act. President Biden and this administration support passage of both pieces of legislation. These bills would provide a path to citizenship for Dreamers, individuals with temporary protected status, and farm workers. Both pieces of legislation passed the House last Congress with bipartisan support and have broad support from the American public. These bills, in his view and our view, are critical milestones toward much-needed relief for the millions of individuals who call the United States home, and an acknowledgement that a path to citizenship for these essential workers is critically important to our economy and our nation's food and agricultural sectors. We also urge Congress to reform other aspects of our immigration system by passing President Biden's bill, the U.S. Citizenship Act, a bill that he proposed on his first day in office, which would establish a new system to responsibly manage and secure our border, bring long overdue visa reforms to keep families together and grow our economy, and address the root causes of migration from Central America. With that, Zeke, kick us off.
Thank you, Jen. Just following up on a scooplet from our colleague Jeff over here.
A scooplet. I don't know that Reuters calls it scooplets, but
if you can confirm that the U.S. plans to loan 4 million AstraZeneca vaccines to Mexico and Canada, what's the timeline for when that transaction would take place, and why only 4 million of a stockpile that is several times that for a vaccine that isn't authorized here?
Absolutely. So, as I've noted in here before, but worth noting again, our first priority remains vaccinating the U.S. population. The reality is the border knows no pandemic knows no borders, and ensuring our neighbors can contain the virus is a mission critical to ending the pandemic. We have 3 vaccines approved, as you well know, and of course there's a rigorous review process by the FDA. There are other vaccines, of course, including AstraZeneca, that are going through the approval process now, and we have been taking action here to get ready to get those vaccines to the American people if they are approved. As we await FDA approval here in the U.S., many countries, as you know, have already requested, have already approved AstraZeneca and also have requested our doses from the United States. That includes Canada and Mexico, but is certainly not limited to Canada and Mexico. and balancing the need to let the approval process play out of the AstraZeneca vaccine as it's taking place in the U.S. with the importance of helping stop the spread in other countries. We are assessing how we can loan doses. That is our aim. It's not fully finalized yet, but that is our aim and what we're working toward to Canada and Mexico. This is a complex process, and our team is working with the companies to move it forward. And I want to, on your question about the number of doses, there have been a range of reports about the number of doses. I can confirm that we have 7 million releasable doses available of AstraZeneca, and as noted in Jeff's scooplet, which I'm just going to keep calling it, 2.5 million of those we are working to finalize plans to lend those to Mexico, and 1.5 million to Canada.
And what's the nature of that transaction? Would it just be for future AstraZeneca production, or would there be
Meaning what's in the loan?
Yeah.
It could be for future AstraZeneca doses or other doses, yes.
And on a different topic, I was wondering if you saw the comments from Russian President Vladimir Putin this morning, responding to the president's comments in the interview on Tuesday night. Is the president worried at all that we may have inadvertently started a little war of words and trading shots back and forth, that can get in the way of finding some common ground on various shared priorities?
Well, President Biden and President Putin certainly have different perspectives on their respective countries and how to approach engagement in the world. But where they agree is that we should continue to look for ways to work together, as was noted in part of President Putin's comments. And there are areas of mutual interest. New START, which we just extended for 5 years, is an example of that. Obviously, Russia is also a member of the P5+1 as we look ahead to what's possible there as it relates to preventing Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon. So we are confident that we can continue to look for ways where there's a mutual interest, mutual national interest, but the president is not going to hold back, clearly, when he has concerns, when he has, whether it is with words or actions.